said he's in the thing. You're in the. Yeah.
I want my golf cart.
He took him to eat.
Oh, we did?
I mean, they brought some to the
Yeah.
He was. It is wrong. I said, no.
No. I wouldn't say it. I wouldn't feel safe. Why is it over here? Yeah, it is. And I went out and talked to her. And she said that.
She had the dog with these little bitty
Oh, did she?
things, yeah.
I'm taking it to ER for evaluation. Yeah. Before the rest of us upon a time.
Yeah, that's
That our
very.
seed deal that we pulled if it was big as this was car.
You could push it and think about it. Where have you been, or where did you go? What are you doing?
Checking it out. Here's a
Okay, are we in order? Roll call?
Carla, Kelly,
Absent.
Judy,
Here.
Lizzie,
Here.
Jeff,
Here.
Laura.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Staff report. Anything there?
Yeah, I have a couple things. We had well 2 clean, Roy 3, 4 months ago, something like that. The results were unsatisfactory. So then the next step is coming again, only this time they'll do a normal clean, then they will use air, they'll purge it with air pressure as well. So that's supposed to loosen the gravel pack, loosen it up some more.
That don't work, they were going.
If that don't work, possibly look into a new well, or Nelson still thinks we should tie on to Southwest Water. But it is 20, this time around will be, I think it's 24, 5, 24-2 to clean it this time. So it's dirty right now. Well 2 is really dirty. Plus it's just not performing. It's not keeping up. So
What's a new well cost to drill?
approximately somewhere between 250 and 300,000.
I would rather put that money towards trying to get these old wells. Where are we with
We are, Lee Kunkel said there's no sense in moving any further as far as he's concerned. It's going to take legal to get anything done because the EPA ain't budging.
What about this? Can we drill a new well someplace in that park that will meet the requirements
Lot Park.
where the old wells are?
for the old wells?
That I can't answer. I don't know. That would take
See,
some
that would
time.
probably be, I would be interested in that.
Because
You gotta be 300 feet from,
Has to be 300 feet circumference
Right.
from anything. So, but that would be a question for,
But
say,
does-
Moody's
but
or
does
Lane or something.
playground equipment count as anything?
Well, that's a big field. I mean, if we were going to put something out there, there's enough room out there you could do that
I mean, because
on the far side.
you have to be away from the.
Yeah,
Whatever,
be around the
yeah.
playground and all that good stuff.
but we know that's good water.
Yes.
Ample water.
Yes,
Oh,
yes.
So we,
That would be a question for, like I said, I can contact Lane and see what it's going to take, what it's going to cost maybe to get those answers. 'Cause I don't.
because if we're gonna drill a lot, and if we can, I would rather drill there.
But at, in the present, we're running on one well. So if something were to happen, we're deep. So I would go ahead and, it's up to you guys, I would go ahead and clean this again.
You have a choice.
I don't think we have a choice, yeah,
Yeah.
I'd say just go ahead.
Yeah.
I mean,
Rusty, refresh my mind on how much have we spent now on cleaning this well too?
I don't
I would say
know.
$100,000, including this.
I would say that's probably close. It's 25 a shot. I know this year it's gonna be 2 times, and I know one other year it was twice. Typically you clean every, like, 8 to 10 years. So we're cleaning every year or every other year. Just in the well
Yeah, we're
too.
spending money that we can
Yeah.
put in new well.
Yeah.
One, you know, we've been talking about doing something with the old wells for as long as I remember, but I never seem to think we get past the talk part. So why are we not working actively on whatever aspect takes, whether it's legal, whether it's more, whatever it is? What are we doing?
Well, you're gonna have to contact someone legal, attorney, to go back and forth with the EPA to get the approval to move forward with those wells.
Now, the Southwest Water, I don't know how good a memory anyone has for that whole mess, but one thing is, back when we were gonna be forced to connect to them, we were gonna be forced to build the system, pay for the system, maintain the system, everything to do with the system, but we didn't own it. And they could turn, at that time, they could turn it off at any time they chose, anytime they like. And that was, well, at that time, someone ran the numbers, and it was gonna be $99 a month just for water then, just water. So I don't think that's an option.
Well, that's Nelson's opinion. He just
Oh, I
told me
think
to
it would
share
solve
that
the
with
water
you.
problem.
Yeah.
Oh, it would solve the water problem. but
Because
then
we're kind of on an island here. We got 2 wells, one's not performing, so.
No, I agree with Nelson, and we've talked about this before. We should be connected to Southwest Water just because in a case like this, where if we would get ourselves backed into a corner, we have an option. But
But that's gonna be a huge cost to do it. I mean,
it is, but there's money for that. And this, we had this conversation with, when I first got acquainted with Steve Boyd, because he is an environmental attorney, that's what he is, he's not really the nuts and bolts attorney. So we've had meetings, he and I, at the old place with Southwest Water about this very thing, I think even before, well, it wasn't before, but it was, you know, during all of this, and here we are, still. But, so maybe something's gonna force our hand to make us do something, and sometimes, you know, there's a bit of urgency here, but 2 or 3 things need to happen. One, we need to talk to Steve, probably, about the legal side of the old wells. I like your option. If we're gonna do something, let's just drill one. We're gonna drill one.
we're $300,000 to put new pumps in the old wells.
Yeah. And we don't, and again, this goes back to rates. And we've depleted, well, I should say depleted, we don't have the reserves that we should have because lots of reasons.
Yeah.
And we should have the reserves built up, and that's the point of the escalator, point of the rate increase. And then, so what you're gonna have is, if we have to spend a bunch of money on wells, you're gonna have a rate increase. But, okay. Anyone want me to call Steve, or Mayor want to do that, or who wants to do that?
I'll call Steve and see if we can look at it with the EPA if 5 of those on.
Yeah. You can contact Lee Conkle as well. Lee was the one that was working on it.
Lee,
Conkle, Verdantez Engineering. I have a number if you need it, I'll get it to you.
In the meantime, go ahead and have.
yeah, gotta get clean, I mean.
The only other thing I got for is paving. I got a price to do Donna, Jetta, and Catherine.
Repair
And
or replace?
do what?
Repair or replace?
Just repair like 50 feet in, because that's where it's tore up the worst. Those 3 streets, repair this spot down here, and there's another spot up here, water main up there on Sugar Valley, right when we killed the Bittinger's house.
Okay.
So those 3 things was $26,500.
Now, if we run into other, because there are other little things here, can we get those done while they're here? There's just all kinds of little nuisance places, alleys, you
Well, I'll
know.
have to go through and
Yeah,
and
let's hit them all. If we're gonna be here,
all
let's
right,
hit
that's
them all.
fine. I will take a look at everything I can find, and I'll get with him again and get him to give me a new price.
There's just no sense in just doing a half measure.
That'll work.
Now I got some questions for you while you're standing there. How many letters have you sent regarding junk cars, weeds, whatever this year?
A bunch. I can't give you a number, a bunch. Actually, Fred Hill went to court today for a pretrial.
That guy up on the hill.
I asked Matt about the crossing the vehicles to the road ways. He's gonna check.
71 and 85 South Liberty. Those have both been evicted. He's in the process of cleaning those up. They're
Yeah,
both
they're a
a
mess.
mess. There's one on North Main, which is also a mess, which I spoke to him today. They were evicted last week, and he will be there this weekend to clean those up.
I noticed the truck, it's gone from South Liberty.
Literally, yeah,
Yep.
it's gone.
Well, the three of us did a drive around a couple weeks ago, and we just noticed a lot of
there's-
I feel like we're back where we started from in some ways, in a lot of places.
I don't think so.
There's one on Hendricks too with a flat tire, it's been there for 3 years.
That would be for Matt if it's on the street.
Yeah.
Right, it isn't that question.
But I'm just saying, it's
Yeah,
been
well-
there for 3 years with a flat tire on it.
Walk in there and let them know that.
Pat's in.
Honestly. Who?
Pat, yes, our,
Oh, well,
I told
Matt will
Matt,
be back tomorrow.
I've already talked to Matt about it.
okay, well,
Remind him,
well, we need to list, and we have street lights that are out, we'll talk about that too, but.
I talked to Matt about that.
And then, this is kind of on and off, the same topic since I got you there, but are people able to get a hold of you directly?
My phone number is all over this town.
Okay,
It's also on the recording out front.
Yeah.
okay, because I didn't know, because I know that Trina fields a lot of calls for you, and Trina's not really anybody's secretary. So I just wanted to know.
It's on the recording.
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
It is.
Well,
So much more.
Top number, and then list the places you sent letters. Okay, so, I would like to maybe see, if you could just take a screenshot, I'd like to see a picture of the ones you're working on, the ones that are current. And also, I'd like the number of the lady that is our solicitor that's doing these, because if she would have a
Kristen,
conversation.
it's the same solicitor police department uses.
Okay, I'll get her, unless you can send me her number, I can get it from Matt, but I just like to pick her brain and see where she is on this stuff, because I just feel like,
So first the one on the hill out there. Today was a pre-trial. And like I said, it takes 3 or 4 months to get through a pre-trial, a trial, and a sentencing. This is probably, I'm guessing, the 8th time we've been to court with that one. Pre-trial today, 30 days, they will go back, and if it's not cleaned up, which it's not going to be cleaned up, it's worse than it was last time we went, then it'll be a trial. And I told her, this is what we want to do. I want to contract someone to go clean it up. I'm
Yes.
tired of
Yeah.
So when we go to the trial portion of things, she's gonna bring that up to the judge and see if we can go that route.
I guess my question is, we've been to court multiple times. Nothing happens, they don't do anything.
Fined him $13,600 and absolutely nothing happened, except for he paid the fine.
yeah.
And then we're right back where we started. That's why I said, I want to have it cleaned up, because they're not gonna clean it.
Yeah.
Well, the same on Schultz there, that fits in there, that needs a blade.
Yep,
So,
so,
and then one other thing while you're here, is several months ago, we asked for, I'll just call it a time study. Remember? We asked, and I've not seen one.
I did it.
It's not been submitted. I'd like to see routinely.
I'll give it to you. I did it for a month.
Okay. Well, I'd like to see a little more, I'd like to have a snapshot occasionally, at least that's my feeling, and I know the council voted on it and said that's what we wanted. But at least I think it would have been the next logical step to have submitted it to us instead of being nothing there. But I would like to see at least what you had, and then I would like to see a regular idea of where you're spending time and on what projects.
Like 80% of the time spent mowing grass.
Well, then you're on too much grass. That's my feeling.
Now we got the cemetery on top of that. And we maintain the water plant, the sewer plant, and everything else. More or less everything in this town, us three take care of.
I understand, but maybe
We have very little spare time.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it looks nice on 127 where you guys
Yeah,
do that.
it does.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not
That's what the
complaining
state
about
should
that.
be doing that.
So if
They
we're,
will twice a year.
Yeah, twice a year.
if we're gonna require the work crew, shouldn't we require all of our employees to do a time study to see where their time is being focused on?
That's up to council.
Yeah.
We've already had that
Okay.
discussion.
We have, I mean, we discuss a lot of them, but I mean, there's, we have more than just them as employees. It might be helpful for everybody to understand
I'm not against it.
if all of our employees do one.
We just do it across the board.
Yeah,
Sound good?
Trina used to do it. So,
Really no mystery.
Police
She's,
department do something like that.
no.
they do a log. They do a log when they are called, and they're
Let's
on
go
that.
to the sheriff's office, find out what they do.
So we all have a better idea, we as individuals on the panel have a better idea of what all the time is being spent doing.
Did you contact Dollar General about
The weeds.
the weeds up there on their property?
I have not. They, I don't know.
I didn't, I couldn't remember if you were here last time.
I don't think I was.
He wasn't.
I'll look at it. The new store?
Yeah, because the guy that came down to, he was asking about the modular.
I know you're talking about. All
Yeah,
right.
they're not doing between his fence and their.
We did that last year. I did the same thing last year. They weren't doing it. The problem is they don't keep the same landscaping company from year to year. So every time you get a new one,
They don't.
you have to pass that info along to them, so. I'll see what they get.
Okay. Thank you, Randy. All right. Utility shut-offs, and we continue to bill at full price.
I just don't know how that's legal.
I don't think we should be doing that.
I think we should just do a ready for use, or, you know,
Ready to serve order.
Well, we need to,
$15, $20 a month because the meter's there.
I agree with that.
I think $20 for a shut-off meter.
$20 a month for,
Was that include trash, or is that just the, see, I think you should
That's
never
just
stop
water
looking for
and
trash.
No, that's just.
well, I think there's no one, if nobody's listening.
If there's a-
Water, then there shouldn't be anybody
But-
generating any trash.
Right, it's
But
solely
cans-
water.
But we still pay rent on can.
Oh,
Yeah.
Well, I'd say if the water shut off very long, drunk people have to pick up the trash.
Well, Nelson brought that fee for service to our attention a long time ago, and I've never been against it, but it needs to be implemented, and I think that's a good place to start.
But it needs to, you know, instead of them shutting it off inside, the guys, it has to be where the guys have shut it
Shut
off
off, shut off.
at the street
Yeah.
Yeah.
in order, other than, if it's not shut off at the street,
It's not off.
It's not all.
it's not off. And it's, so in my opinion, they're still being serviced.
I agree.
Well, yeah, if it's not shut off in the street, they are being served.
Right. And that's
That's not a
what,
water shut off. Water shut off's when it's shut off,
Yeah.
they go out and shut off the street.
but I just, to make it clear, so that way somebody says, well, I shut it off inside,
Yeah.
you know, no one's living there, well, if
Oh, yeah.
if you want that rate,
I see what you're
the
saying.
guys, you know, will shut it off, then you get that rate. Until you get that rate, then you're getting the minimum.
Yeah, because if he's got to shut off inside, if he decides to do some work on it, he can turn it on for a
Exactly.
couple hours and.
Exactly.
Well, I think if we're gonna do this, then we need to formalize it, and I also think we need to wipe away any past accrued bills where people have been billed.
I just got a call today from a guy that owns those two properties down there on Liberty Street, 85 and the one right next to it. Yeah, Tyler's place.
Yeah.
And, what was his bill, 400 or 600 or something like that? But he paid, and they shut the water off 3 months ago, I think, that,
He doesn't.
and now it's $400.
No. I just think that's,
I told him we'd bring
That
it up.
doesn't seem fair.
no, it's not. I don't even know how it's legal.
So, how would you do?
Does that
I'll
make a
make a-
motion?
I'll make a motion that we go to a ready to serve billing, but the water has to be shut off by the village in order to receive that.
Is that,
And that's
Say, you know, set it at $20, the reduced rate of $20 a month.
I second that motion.
All right, we got a motion and a second, Lizzie second.
What about the snowbirds? You gonna charge them 20 a month?
Yeah.
as well?
Well, that'll be a separate issue.
Okay,
I mean, a road
So we gotta
service
get this
road-
through, then we'll take care of that.
okay. Carla?
What was there any discussion though, because I wanted
Go ahead,
to, but my question will be, do we need to codify this in some sort of,
Once we get, once this
Okay.
passes or fails, then we
Okay.
can go back and say, you know,
Gotcha.
Yeah. Okay.
Carla? Yeah. Kelly?
yeah.
Judy?
Yay.
Lizzie?
Yay.
Joe?
yeah,
Okay. The other thing we had,
now if we wanna talk about those water bills, we can do that.
okay. How would you like to handle that? Once,
If it's shut off, if the village is shut it off, I'd say just fill in the,
Just adjust it to the $20.
just to $20
So if it's
from the time it was shut off,
$20 a month.
just,
What does that include?
any-
that's just your water and sewer.
Okay, no trash.
Because we pay Rumpke a fee for that trash.
Unless you waive them off of it, no one wants to get in the business of calling Rumpke every time you turn around, so.
but the $20 would cover the trash. Anyway.
I guess
Trash
we're
is
talking about.
expensive.
I don't think
We're
we're talking-
charging $23.16 now.
Yeah. I think it would be incumbent upon the property owner if they wanted to call Rumpke and suspend the service, but for us to,
It's easy to do. I just did it for, yeah.
Yeah, so that, I mean,
Because
if you're adjusting their water and sewage down to $20, they can still pay the 20, whatever she said it was, for the trash. If they don't want to pay it, then they can cancel it.
yeah, because they want to keep it, then basically it's a $40-some a month.
So then who's gonna start contacting Rumpke and saying, hey, they're not paying their portion of,
Well, the homeowner will have to contact Rumpke.
they're not gonna call and
You
say,
have to put
hey,
that all in
I'm
your
not paying
ordinance.
for my trash.
Well, the first time they get a bill for trash, because they should just be billed trash also, along with this $20 ready for use. So if they want that to go away, that's on them. Then I would say if they're in there cleaning up, they're gonna want that trash dumpster there, or that
Yes, so
container
just
there.
keep charging them like you would any other property you want.
Okay.
yeah, do you want to expand that ready for use to any lot or deeded property that has the potential to be tapped for water or sewer, or you just want to do it where there's a physical
If it's an
structure?
empty lot, no, I wouldn't charge anything.
No, anything that has a meter, I think we should charge, including like the snowbirds or whatever they're called. I mean, if you're leaving, it still has a meter on that property.
Well, they would have the water shut off though, and they'd be paying $20.
Right.
But they haven't been.
Yeah, haven't been.
So what do they normally
Well,
do? Just
they-
get charged nothing?
They have been getting charged the whole thing, haven't they?
There's a special deal for,
No. They get shut off for like 6 months.
Well, but like I said, we've got money invested in that.
yeah, that's gonna change.
So it's
Yeah, so-
regardless if it's a snowbird or not, it's going to be $20.
$20, yes.
Okay.
Plus trash if they leave the can.
Do you need to vote on that one as well? Or does that?
What was that?
Do you need to vote on that as well, or does that just,
When you get your ordinance together, I would think that's when you,
okay.
Yeah, that'll have to be in an ordinance. Okay, we need a third reading on the, utility rate increase.
And you're supposed to be doing the second repeat reading with motion.
I thought we did
We did the
We
second.
did, but we didn't do a
the
motion.
first one, and then we did the first one again, and then the second one, I thought.
First one, again, with the adjustment, and we didn't do a motion last meeting.
I'm sorry, I can't hear you for the radio. So we had a first reading on it, then we amended it, had a first reading on the amended, then we had a second reading on the amended. So today should be the third reading on the amended. And a vote.
We were told that we were supposed to have done a motion on the second reading.
That's not what the attorney just told us today.
Okay, just wanted that clarified.
I talked to him today about that very thing. That's
I
what he
just want
said.
everyone to
He
know.
said, you don't vote on each reading, you vote on the last reading. The first three readings are so people can discuss it.
Okay, just wanted that out in the open.
So do we have a copy? You got a copy of that? ordinance? First reading.
Do you want to go grab it?
I need for the first reading.
Jerry, you get it?
Yeah. While she's looking for that, the last meeting we had a gentleman here from Sherwood Drive questioning whether he could put a modular home on his lot. Rusty got me the ordinance that we have, and it doesn't say anything about a modular home. It talks about commercial tractors, campers, mobile homes.
Well, is it a double wide or is it a
It's a modular
factory built?
factory, manufactured home.
But is that a double wide or is it a stud built and brought in two
And
halves?
probably be brought in two halves.
But it has to be on a foundation, doesn't it?
Yes.
Okay, and now I'm getting wrong with either one.
So I will let that guy know, 'cause we've got the ordinance,
Yeah.
751. If they'd like to get a copy, to make a copy of this.
You know,
Don't you forget that too.
we have a situation at the end of that street that really, it isn't our street where it's turned into just gravel, that's private property, but you're down at the end of that where it's,
Sherwood? Yeah, that's where, at the end of that's where
the
Dollar General owns, and they won't, they planted trees there or something, they said.
well, I'm talking about the pavement. Where the pavement ends, it's just gravel because that hasn't ever been dedicated. But it's a mess.
Yeah, that belongs to the trailer park.
I just,
I mean, that's
Well, you
my
have-
understanding.
yeah, it's not ours. But do you realize that anything above where Ginger Bittinger used to live, you know, that's not our, that belongs to Doc Bradbury. We've paved it for 100 years. That's his private driveway, starting right there, the people that are north of about where Ginger lived. So we paved that unknowingly for decades.
There used to be a street south, you're talking about Liberty Street, South Liberty?
Mm,
That used to be a street went all the way around to the dry cleaners.
I know, well,
And we gave up that,
I don't think it ever really was. But my point is, we paid that for him forever without, and he's just gonna sit there and let us do it.
that's in the village, so yes, we would.
But it's not, it's like a private driveway. It's like Rebecca up here, that's a private driveway. Now, they've since paved it, did they dedicate that to us?
No, because they'd have to put curbs and
No,
sidewalks.
I don't know if they would or not.
It reminds me, did you talk to somebody about that? Remember that drive down to the Legion?
Last year I did, Dan. I haven't spoken to anybody yet this year. I'm gonna contact him about some other spots, so when I get one, I'll get a price for it.
Okay, I appreciate it.
Yeah.
I guess what I'm saying is, with some input from the property owners there, would we be willing to pave that and clean that up? If they would be willing to maybe do an assessment on their tax for a certain portion of that, I don't want to, I mean, it's a mess.
Yeah.
Well, I
It'll be up to you.
think a lot of that, Kelly, is the people on Sherwood would just use that as a turnaround at the end. Because I can remember when there was nothing there except weeds. And then eventually people would just start driving through there.
Well, our dedicated street stops right there, then it's just, I guess I'm just asking, this is something that council would want to approach the property owners about solving kind of a, if we're gonna be doing some paving here, It's a private, once it was paid, then we could dedicate that as part of
We
the,
can find out how much, get a separate price on what that would cost.
I always thought that was an alley, because when we lived down on
the
Lafayette
work down
Street.
here now on Sherwood.
Oh, no, I'm talking about Liberty Street down there, that area was always an alley.
I always thought it was,
Not
but he
paid.
contends it is not,
Yeah.
but.
All right.
Ordinance 1051-2025, an ordinance adjusting the water, sewer, and trash rates for all residents and businesses in the village of Camden. Do I have to read the whole thing? Again?
Yeah, for the phone read, I'd say.
Whereas the Village of Camden, Ohio Council is responsible for adopting the water, sewer, and trash fees for residents and businesses in the Village of Camden. And whereas the Village of Camden, Ohio has previously established the rates for water, sewer, and trash fees for residents and businesses in the Village of Camden. And whereas upon review of usage volume and rate allocation, the Village of Camden, Ohio Council has determined that rates for water, sewer, and trash should be reconfigured to permit the best service possible to village residents and businesses. Now therefore be it ordained by the Council of the Village of Camden, a majority of the elected members hereto, concurring that Section 1, the Village of Camden, Ohio Council hereby adopts the adjustment of the water, sewer, and trash rates at $5 total increase for all three utilities to be allocated for each utility as determined by council. Section 2, this ordinance shall be effective on the earliest date provided by law. The rate increase is retroactive to the April 2025 billing cycle. Section 3, it is hereby found and determined that all formal actions of council concerning and relating to the passage of this ordinance were adopted in an open meeting of council, and that any and all deliberations of council, as well as that of any of its committees that resulted in such formal action, were in meetings open to the public in compliance with all legal requirements, including but not limited to Section 121.22 of the Ohio Revised Code. So I make a motion we adopt ordinance 1051-2025.
I'll second that.
This is the final reading.
Yeah. Discussion? Roll call, please.
Carla? No. Kelly?
Yay.
Judy?
Yay.
Lizzie?
No.
Chuck?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Minutes. Councilmember Kirk Conrad.
Yes, we as village council have a responsibility to the residents of this municipality to do our duties. Part of that is to come to meetings and hold committees. In 2025 year so far, we have canceled 5 of our 13 regular scheduled meetings due to lack of quorum, and only one of those were rescheduled for a new date. We have only had one committee meet, and that was for the fire board for their monthly meeting through the fire department. And Parks attempted to, but didn't have attendance, and no other committees thus far have met. Our residents have voiced this complaint loudly and publicly. When you join council by filling a seat or being elected by the people, you are fully aware of the importance of doing your duties, showing up to meetings and participating. There is circumstances that require a person to miss on the occasional meeting. Work or illness, for example. But there is no excuse for not having committees for the last 7+ months, and being mad at fellow council members or perhaps the mayor is not a valid excuse for not attending meetings. I think we as council members need to start having our committee meetings along with having our regular meetings, rather than interrupting our fiscal officer's work so she can call around to ask who is coming or for us to interrupt her to let her know. I suggest that we just come to the meetings, hold them at 7 p.m. Whoever shows up then can be decided if we have quorum or not. And to ensure that there's no mixed messaging for communication. And if there is a reason that you are not able to attend, possibly contacting the mayor instead of interrupting our fiscal officer would be more appropriate. Per the Camden, Ohio Elected Official Code of Conduct, page 7 and 8, it clearly states that council may declare any council member seat vacant for absent without valid excuse, where such absences continue for 2 or more months. No expulsion from attending public meetings or declaration of council member's seat as being vacant without valid excuse shall occur without the concurrence of 2/3 vote of council members after the offending absent council member has first been notified of the charges against him or her, has had an opportunity to be heard. We have had multiple occasions, and here recently, council members that have missed really close coming up to their 4th meeting and then show up a meeting and then disappear. So I feel that if these council members cannot make these meetings, we need to start keeping track of who they are, and they can either resign, or after the 4th missed meeting, we can use our handbook that we paid almost $49,000 for, or $4,900 for, and vacate their seats.
All right, thank you. Anybody got anything else?
One thing I would add to that is where the excused absences.
When I checked in to a specific person, I was told they were not attending because they were mad. And I said, being mad at me is not an excuse. And they said, they are just mad.
Well, did you hear that from the individual, or was that third party?
That was third party. I reached out to the mayor
It's called
multiple
gossip and
times.
hearsay.
I reached out to the mayor multiple times to suggest that he reach out to find out if it's legitimate reasons or not.
Gossip and hearsay, but that's your stock and trade. So, there you go. I
I'm
don't
not
need a
making
speech
any
from
names.
you about anything.
All right. Your old business.
I want to get on the minutes that the Helping Hands program helped another person for $705.10.
Nice.
Yeah, so that's the third, is that third? And they've been medical issues, so
Well, that's great.
it's awesome. So,
Carl, great job. All right, can I get approval of the minutes?
Wait a minute. So far I have done 191 meter changeouts when I have a minute here and there.
Okay.
And we can always do actual readings on those and then estimated on the ones that aren't changed out.
Okay.
Just so you know, so I'm up to about 200.
On that point, Rusty, you do realize that in the description of your job, you are to deal with everything associated with water, billing, collecting, all
No,
that.
I don't do billing and I don't do.
I don't care what you say you do. I'm telling you.
Well,
what
read the
your job-
ordinance. Read the ordinance. I don't do billing and I don't do collecting. I don't do anything financial. No, I do not.
According to Steve Hoy, you do.
Well,
So
read the
you can talk to
ordinance.
Steve Hoy.
Steve Hoy needs to read the ordinance.
May I just finish? I don't see how this in any way is Trina's job.
Is she considered our water clerk? Wouldn't it fall under water clerk?
Well, I think she's considered our fiscal officer, but anyway, my point is, there's, you know, she's not everybody's personal secretary. She is not the, it's not her job. So I just wanted to say that.
In the
So
past, was the fiscal officer who did it the last round? When
I
we
don't
had
care
our
who did
input
it
meter?
last round, I'm talking about who's doing it this round. So, you know, I think we need to plumb the depths of whose hat is whose and who's gonna do what in the future. So, you know, everybody's cashing our check around here, and telling us how they're gonna do it, so, which, you know, rich.
All right, now can I have approval of the minutes?
Well, can I finish? Kelly keeps interrupting me. Just want to let you know, Shawnee Youth Soccer, they would also like to use the park Tuesdays and Thursday evenings, but they will not need the restrooms. I told them fine, they can hang out with the SAE kids. They said there was enough room. So, cool. And then the bench is on its way. And what shall we do, or do I need to reach out to the attorney about the mayor's court checking account? Because it's just sitting there. I've only used it twice to take 2 blocks off of license. But other than that, I really don't. I mean, we can just put it in as another line item direct.
Has that been audited yet?
They're doing it right now for 23 and 4.
I think until it is up to date audited, I think it needs to probably
It
leave it.
goes into 25 though.
How much is in there?
Um,
How much is in the account?
It's around 3.
How much?
Around 3,000.
Okay.
Because they upgraded the new system for like 12,000.
We'll still get all the fines, we just won't get the court costs.
Right, but
And we are the last village in the county that had a mayor's court.
so should we just transfer it over into ours with its own line item like we did the police
Yeah.
accounts?
Yeah, because we're gonna continue to receive
Yeah, we're
funds.
still gonna get money, so.
How are the, what's due and owing the mayor's court? Because there's tens of thousands of dollars out there. How is that going to be collected? Does anyone know?
Just if somebody wants their license, the block taken off, they'll contact because they can't get their license without a block release. But Eden's taking care of the current tickets and they just send us a check for the
Well,
monies.
I tell you, you did a really nice job cleaning that mess up before. And that was Nancy. And it would be nice to have a conversation with Nancy, to have her give us an overview, but she understood that thing frontwards and backwards.
But the upgrade, nobody knows how to use it.
Now, we got the same system.
It's a whole different system.
And we won't need the system any longer.
I guess, I understand, but what I'm saying is, I'd like to have a grasp on what is out there that's owed, because it was a lot. It was a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot, but most of it that was owed, it's already been sent to Columbus. And-
Oh, it has?
Yeah, and their license are, hell, that's how we got
Gotcha.
the 2 million that we just got in. Somebody wanted to get their license and they couldn't until they paid the fine here. So they came here, paid the fine, and we sent the release to Eden, then Eden.
Do we know, though, we have any snapshot on what is out there to us? Because I don't know how much Columbus would push. I just wonder if we'd be better off to sell it to a collection agency for.
I think the last statement we got was around $80,000.
Sheesh.
There wasn't a lot of that old
But
stuff.
that is all,
Yes.
a lot of that stuff is 10 years and old.
That's still due. I would.
They're probably dead or out of state.
Well, we're still gonna receive the money. We're just not gonna get the court costs. That means we're not paying the clerk and we're not paying
Magistrate.
the magistrate. So when we weren't collecting anything, we were losing money.
You're never gonna get that 80 yet.
Well, even if you got,
And we'll get it because if they, to get their license for us to release it, they have to pay the fee. We will get that fee. We'll always get the fee, we won't get the court costs, is what we won't receive.
I understand, but I
But it's a whole new system, nobody knows it. Nobody in this building.
I pedal that to a collection agency tomorrow.
Anything else?
Let me read. No.
Anybody else got anything?
The Parks Committee last year had done some updates and we finally got, we were able to get the basketball hoops installed. And I put that on Facebook and everybody really seemed to enjoy it. It seems to be a big hit. We put 4 new hoops up.
They put it for me.
Yeah. Because of the village, not me. I did nothing, I just took pictures. But they did an amazing job, they got rained on and had to be in the heat to do it, but they got them up and they look great. And so I'd like to see what other updates we can do to the park. There's some suggestions on, from a few residents about looking into, some additional handicap accessible play equipment, so I didn't know who to talk to or look into grants for that. I thought it might be something we could think about.
Rusty's the contact for that.
Awesome. I got some
Because he
pictures
has
sent to me.
because they take care of the maintenance on it.
That works.
One more update. Next bill pay is doing very well. We're up to 210 people that are using it. And we have text-to-pay enrollments of 38 people. Auto pay enrollments of 21, just in the second month. So out of 743 current reading meters, 210 of them are using it online, and they're doing e-check or a credit card or phone. Okay, I'm done.
Anybody else got anything?
In June, Trina said that she was gonna get us a cash management financial, report. Since that didn't happen, I was wondering if we were gonna get one at the first meeting in August.
I just gave it to the finance committee.
I don't have it.
There's one over here. I just know whether to give it to the finance committee or you can pick up and leave it out. So,
Well, thank you, appreciate it. That's all I got.
Now can I get approval for the minutes from the 7:3 and 7:18?
I made a motion that we approve the minutes.
What's that?
Discussion? Roll call?
Carla? Yeah. Kelly?
Yeah.
Judy? Yay. Lizzie? Yay. Jeff?
Yeah.
Can I get a motion for payroll?
I make a motion that we pay our employees.
I second it.
Discussion?
You also need to be reading approval of the 7/3/2025 minutes per auditors
Officer, payroll.
and 7/18 payroll.
Let's do the payroll and then we'll start that motion in a second. Roll call.
Carla? Yeah. Kelly?
Yeah.
Jeff?
Yeah.
Judy?
Yeah. Yay.
And I'll be yay too.
Lizzie and Jeff.
All right, now approval for the minutes 7:18.
Well, okay.
Where was your,
I don't have them.
There you go.
I don't know everything in the thread, I don't have them. The third. Oh, the 2 pages here.
Yeah.
This is 7/3 and 7/3.
You have them, Judy?
I have 7/3 and now Danny just handed me June the 12th.
7/3 is what we're approving tonight.
that's one
Oh, we just
did.
voted on it.
Voted
Yeah,
on.
we just voted on 7/3.
Can we be looking for?
Yeah, we voted on that.
So we did minutes, payroll.
Yeah,
7:3.
Just have PO and invoices together.
yeah.
Yeah, just be on it. This is-
Invoice PO and invoices. Have a motion?
I make a motion that we approve our purchase orders and pay our bills.
I'll second.
Discussion? Roll call.
Carla? Yeah. Kelly?
Yeah.
Judy? Yay. Lizzie?
Yay.
Jeff?
Yeah. Make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second that motion.
Discussion? Roll call.
Carla? Yeah. Kelly?
Yeah.
Jeff?
Yeah.
Judy?
Yay.
Lizzie?
Yay.
Jeff?
So you know that the conference.
I have a JF.
Call that.
Well, we call Steve.
Yeah, I'll call Steve. Yeah.